the Commandant of the Atlantic Seas, Captain of the East Coast, your premier puffer right now, Hungry Body. Oh, he whistled it!
Wow!
Whistled it into
it!
an up smash kick. Unbelievable. That is something you don't see every day.
Damn, in the back of the head. That is rude.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is the upset. This is what we wanted to see today.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Directional Influence episode 14, brought to you by VVV Gaming. I am Rapture, and I am very happy to be back for 2011, as I am joined by Will and Matt, aka Will and Punishment Divine of New York, both of them. And we're back for another year, you know, doing what we do. And we have a very special episode for you guys today. Solely for this, we figured that we'd, establish a little time here for our guest here today. And we are joined by Jay Caesar. If you do not know in advance, he is part of Project M, which is a developing hack for the Wii, which is, pretty much a hack of Brawl to make it more like Melee, if you haven't heard about it. And we'll be talking to him about not only Project M and the development of it in the future and how it got started, but also himself. So I hope you guys stick around and listen to it, because this is a really great interview, and we're glad to have him on the show. So stay tuned, and thanks for listening. And this is Directional Influence, episode 14. Alright everybody, so with me here today is Jay Caesar of Project M, a hack for Brawl still in development, and it's looking amazing. So we're going to get right off to the bat here, because we want to hear as much as possible. So Jay Caesar, glad to have you on the show, and I guess just tell us a little about yourself.
Alright, I discovered Smashboards in late 03 when I was in college, and I got into competitive Melee, and I haven't looked back since. I pretty much started the competitive scene at my college, and then when I graduated, I came back to MDVA, where I grew up, and got into the Melee scene here, and then when Brawl came out, I got into that. About a year after Brawl came out, I got kind of bored with it, but that was right when Brawl Plus was starting to pick up, so I jumped in that bandwagon, and then I got into the back room of that and helped them design it, and I really enjoyed it. So most of the back room of Brawl Plus, when it started falling apart, eventually moved on to Project M, which is kind of what we wanted to do from the start. We just didn't have the tools at the time. So they began Project M, and I went right with them.
Alright, so can you just give us a basic overview, or really just tell us what exactly is Project M?
It's a Brawl hack designed to play as closely to Melee as possible, but not removing the Brawl exclusive stuff, new characters, stages. We're keeping some of the ATs and stuff, anything that we feel improves the game. I dabble in a little bit of everything. I work on coding characters. I guess what I mostly do is run tournaments. I'm probably the most active tournament host in the back room.
Okay.
Back in the Brawl Plus days, I used to run side tournaments in MDVA all the time, and got it pretty big here. And I ran the side tournaments at both Apexes and Pound 4. I ran side tournaments for Brawl Plus.
So when you actually started out, coming over from Brawl Plus, what did you exactly start out doing? Did you just start with a specific job, or did you dabbling things sort of carry over, running tournaments carry over, or what? Did you work your way up, really, is what I'm asking, and from where?
Yeah, just wanted to help and be a part of the team. I worked on characters, especially R.O.B, since he's kind of my passion. We started right around when Brawl Plus was falling apart, which was in early 2010. So we've been working on it for about a year now. But, I mean, we built off of Brawl Plus, so we weren't really starting from scratch. But we've made so many discoveries since then, we were able to completely reshape the game. That we're able to port data directly from Melee, like knockback and just like stage sizes and hitboxes, everything.
Now, of course, this being, a hack for a brawl, it's still geared very much towards Melee. Do you feel like it's going to hit that goal of being essentially Melee with Brawl exclusives?
Yeah, the Brawl hacking has come so far that I don't really think anything's out of reach. So I'm pretty confident it's going to turn out just the way we want it. I mean, getting the deep coders that can really go into the game code and discover new things, they're pretty rare. So, I mean, the original guy, Phantom Wings, who first really cracked Brawl, he designed a tool that makes it real easy for laymen like me to edit characters and stuff.
I haven't seen too much about Project M, but I have seen a couple of videos. I saw some top players that I thought completely didn't play Brawl anymore. I was seeing Melee names playing the game. Like I saw Hungrybox, I saw Kage. I was like, wait, they don't play Brawl. And then I saw it was Project M, and I was like, wait, alright, I have to watch this. And just, I could tell that there were certain things changed about some characters' movesets that actually were like a cool addition. Like, I know there's probably a whole bunch of different things that they're different from Brawl Plus, like, entirely, because I know there were things changed in that also. But is there any example of, like, some things that were changed between some characters?
Yeah, we've actually, like, take Ganon, for example. We decided to keep his Brawl side B because we felt it added to his game. It allowed him to tech chase.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know that like Lucario has like that. He has like a double up B or something. Or I don't know if that was. I'm pretty sure that was.
No, that was Brawl Plus.
That was Brawl
he
Plus.
Doesn't have that.
So it's back to the regular one for him.
Well, we did change it. We gave it a hitbox.
Okay.
And yeah, and he can sweet spot the ledge with it now, which he couldn't do in Brawl Plus, because with the like in Brawl, you just auto-grab the ledge when you go by it, but we wanted to take that out for Melee, obviously. But it was hard to work with Lucario because he would just bounce off and die in Brawl Plus, but we found a way to fix it.
Now, with the new characters, because as mentioned before, this is, in a basic way, Melee with Brawl exclusives, and one of the big exclusives are the new characters. Have these new characters fit into Project M, as opposed to, characters that were already in Melee, like Samus or Mario, whoever the case may be? So have characters like Zero Suit or, Wolf, fit into this game, or is that not the case?
Some of them fit really well, like Diddy Kong. He didn't really require many changes at all. But other characters, we took a more liberal approach and tried to change their style to fit better in Melee, such as Snake. We took away a lot of the kill power on his tilts and gave him sweet spots instead, and we improved his explosives. We made his down smash mine come out faster and kill better, and his C4 works better. So he's more of a trap kind of character.
Will Project M actually end up being faster than the original Melee was? because I remember, playing Melee and how fast it was, but I also remember watching videos of Project M, and obviously things could change, but it seemed like the game ends up being faster. Is this the case, or am I just seeing things differently?
It should be about the same. I mean, we're ripping the data directly from Melee, so all the moves have the same frames and the same landing lag.
Cool.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. Our goal is to make it a very seamless transition from Melee to Project M.
Moving on to stages now, are you guys going to make it a priority, or are you going out of your way, or you're not going to sort of change some of the more gimmicky stages to make them more competitive? Are we going to see some of the fixes, or are we going to see any of the, gimmicks or hazards, really, either completely gone or changed, or is that not going to happen?
Well, it depends on the stage. WarioWare, we just froze it because it makes a pretty nice small neutral. That's actually a holdover from the Brawl Plus days. And but like Halberd, we just the worst part about that stage, in our opinion, was the claw. So we removed the claw and we left the bombs and the laser because you can see them coming. They don't interfere too much, and you can use them strategically, hit the other guy into them or whatever. So, yeah, that's basically what we did there.
So it was really like case by case, just seeing how it would work.
Yeah. We've also recreated quite a few of the original Melee stages.
Yeah.
In addition to like porting Final Destination and Battlefield back to their Melee sizes, we've also brought back Yoshi's Story. We do have Dreamland from the N64 one, yeah.
Okay.
That's a great stage. It doesn't have the wind, though. We weren't able to add the wind. But we also recently brought back Fountain of Dreams.
Oh, low stage.
Yes.
Oh,
me too.
this is my
That's
worst.
amazing.
That's my favorite stage. I love that. Just
All
like,
right, Link for Samus, I understand, but that stage
Samus. I mean,
inhibits it. It just completely stops Falcon from like being able to run around the stage. Anyway, but
speaking of Falcon
the
looked awesome.
Falcon in that game. Oh my
yes.
gosh! I know you guys said that you transported over the data like directly, but I don't care. Like it just looks like he's completely like brought to life from like his terribleness that he is in Brawl. I'm sorry to Falcon mains, but I'm a Falcon main in Melee, and I'm very passionate about my character, and to see him that rape in Project M that's what's going to get me to play the game. And I'm pretty sure that's how other people feel about if they see demos of their characters and like the things that they were meant to do. And even people that play Brawl, seeing how many more combos that they can do, because there's hit stun and you can take advantage of your reads more by following up with like ridiculous combos and stuff like that.
Yeah, Captain Falcon is pretty much a carbon copy of Melee. Aside from his side B, he can grab the ledge out of it now.
Yes.
So he has an extra option for recovery. He doesn't get screwed on the edge.
For Samus, like Power Suit Samus, but did you like add anything new or mini or something?
Well, we gave her back her Super Wave Dash.
Oh
damn.
She's actually been tough to work with because certain characters like her have a file size limit. It makes it difficult to work with them. But we will get her straightened out soon.
Thing about Samus, like her Zaire, it's really good in Brawl. If you add hit stun, doesn't it become like too good? Like, I don't know. I feel like Zaire, you could like Zaire for days, unless it doesn't have like as much stun. Did you guys find that it was like?
We actually let it continue to work like it did in Brawl, but it has landing lag now, which it didn't have in Brawl.
Ah.
So it balances it out a bit, but it's still a really nice spacing option.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I was actually talking to Will about just before we started recording is how awesome it would be if this actually became like a tournament standard sort of game. A game that, people will go to tournaments for, not like necessarily be a side event, or it would be a side event. Do you feel like that could be the case in the future when this finally does come out?
Yeah, I'm hoping. I plan on bringing it to every major tournament and trying to run something on the side. And I'm going to host my own tournaments here. And we'll see where it goes. But I think it has a lot more potential than the other brawl hacks do, just in terms of people liking it enough to play it, you know?
Yeah.
And speaking of which, is there going to be, because I know you guys are prolonging this, you're holding off on like some information and like, but when it is released, is it going to be a final release, or like I know what plagued the other versions of Brawl was that they were always like, I guess to keep it balanced, there was a way to patch it, and like there were patches like every once in a while. Is it going to be one final version, or are you guys going to test it out, or how is that really going to go down? Is there one like universal release that we can just all have?
Well, we're probably not going to be able to release it all at once, just because there's still so much to do.
Yeah.
So
I mean, in general,
we don't want
since
to do
it is a mod, you guys do need to release it, and like it's kind of going to be like a beta when it first is
Yeah,
playable.
I think we're going to probably go with the beta.
Okay.
But we don't want to make the same mistake that Brawl Plus did and release a new version every week.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep it to a minimum to keep people from getting fatigued by the change.
All right, that's good. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. I mean, patches are fine, but I mean, I don't want to keep updating every week and finding that something else has changed. And
yeah, that's not our goal.
yeah.
We got a little obsessed with balance in Brawl Plus and went a little crazy on the changes, but that's not going to happen this time. We're going to be very limited with our releases.
Cool. And this is just for any new players or whoever never played Melee, because I didn't play as much Melee as I did Brawl, but I'm obviously a little seasoned on it. But for people that are newer, is it going to be as accessible, or is it really just something that is more for people who understand how to play at like a technical level?
Well, it is designed to be as competitive as Melee, and there's L canceling and wave dashing and all that. But I mean, even if you aren't technical, Melee's still fun. I mean, that's still the number one goal. Is it should be fun. It's a game.
All right. The most important question that I have for you is: Can I still moonwalk to reverse knee edge guard?
Why, yes, you can.
Oh my God.
Moonwalking is already in.
Yes.
And Captain Falcon is a beast at it, and Sonic is an even bigger beast at it.
I didn't even think of Sonic moonwalk.
the Hedgehog running backwards. Be scared.
Oh my, that's gonna like blow my mind when I see that.
That sounds amusing.
I'm that some Zimzares out. No way.
I know that you said that you were able to port a lot of data over from Melee, but I also know, because I do pay attention to Project at least a minor bit, that there's also been some roadblocks where you guys can't really take everything from Melee. I know that landing detection was a big problem for you guys, which was something wrong with L canceling, and there was also problems with, like Samus's and Link's Zaire being able to grab onto the side of a stage. Are these roadblocks like really preventing you from are you ever going to be able to overcome these, or is it just going to not be able to happen that way? Like we're not going to be able to grab stages with Zaire.
Well, the discoveries in the coding area, you can't really predict them, so we never know. I mean, landing detection is very important, but we'll never know for sure if we can get it, though it looks promising right now.
J. Caesar, what is one thing, I guess, that you'd really like to say about this project? Something that you haven't said, or if you have, just something that you really want to get the point across about?
If you enjoyed Melee, you will definitely enjoy this game. It's the true sequel to Melee.
Well, as soon as we get a version of it, and I get into a position where, I'm sure this is going to hype me enough to want to host things again already, because, I host stuff, and it's normally just for Brawl nowadays, and we've been on Brawl and Melee, and the Melee, the turnout's kind of dwindling, and the greatest part about this is that Project M will bring people from both Brawl and Melee. So, like, we could have 3 events, we can have a side event of something just to start it off, but I would love to start hosting tournaments and having Project M there available for people to play. So, I'm definitely gonna, like, be a part of, like, helping spread this if I can get a copy of it. So, everybody should do the same. All TOs should do the same.
Yeah, I think people are going to really like it once they get to try it, if they come with an open mind.
I already know for a fact a lot of Melee veterans that don't even play Melee anymore are ridiculously hyped about Project M. Like, and they don't play Brawl, they don't play Melee, so it's like this another community that you're reaching out to. It's like the people that have, like, almost moved on and were waiting for this. Like,
yeah, the people who wanted a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally really excited for this, and to be completely honest, it's an amazing thing that you guys are doing this unpaid and voluntary, completely on your own time, doing this because I guess it's something you really, want to do and are passionate about, and I can't say how excited I am, and I can't thank you guys enough for, like, taking the opportunity to, and taking the time and effort to do this for everybody else. Really, it's really awesome. You guys are doing a really great job.
Oh, well, thanks. I only do it because I enjoy it.
All right, well, once again, we wanted to thank you, Jay Caesar, for joining us on the show. We learned a lot of amazing stuff, and I'm really hoping that everybody listens, enjoys all the stuff that you're able to talk about and everything. And I personally really can't wait for Project M to release. So thank you for joining us. Alright, everybody, that brings us to the end of Directional Influence episode 14. We gotta thank VVV Gaming for sticking with us and, hosting the site, and the show that it's on. And, all of that, all they do, checking up on us and all that, some really good stuff from you guys. I want to thank Will and Matt for sticking with me since 2010, and I hope for another amazing year here on DI, and I want to thank everybody following us, and all our fans, everything, because we couldn't do it without you guys. And speaking of which, if you are a fan or you're a new listener or whatever, you can follow us on a multitude of sites, really, a plethora, if you will. We are on Smashboards. We have a thread there in the general Brawl discussion board. We are on All Is Brawl, where we post blog posts every time we have a new episode. We are on Twitter at VVVRapture, where you can follow me when I post a show up and I give updates. And we have our Facebook group, which is Directional Influence. You can search us on that and sign up. We have messages that go out to members and wall posts concerning the episodes, so you can hit us up on those. And we'd love to have you do that because, this is all about you. And speaking of which, we have a very special episode next week, because the one and only Alpha Zealot will be joining us on the show next week. That is right, Alpha Zealot will be on the show for episode 15. We'll be interviewing him about tons of stuff, really. So if you are looking forward to that, please, hit us up, because we're doing it for you guys, and it's going to be really awesome. So anyway, thank you for listening, and we'll see you all next week on Directional Influence. Hello, everybody. This is Rapture. I want to personally thank you for listening to Directional Influence episode 14. And we have a special announcement. This was made by Jay Caesar, but unfortunately, something was lost in transition. However, I am making the announcement right now. The guys behind Project M will be making a formal announcement regarding the development of the project, where it is, etc., or something completely different. We really don't know, but there will be an announcement, and it will be at least before Pound 5, maybe even this month. So stay tuned. It may even be on this show, And thanks for listening.